4 out of 5 people say they have some kind of fear. But I believe all of us have some kind of fear. I got 2 daughters. One of them is very afraid of speaking in front of people. But that's not the fear the other one has. The other one is very comfortable. She can stand in front of people. She can easily connect with people. But she has some other fears. Oftentimes, she is afraid of many other things. Whatever it may be, but we all have fears, especially when we have to do things that is not comfortable or things that we have never done before. The other day, I was sitting with one gentleman who was, really had great ideas and really was thinking of starting something new. He wanted to start a business project, but as he was holding those, proposals, the business plans, all those things, and for a moment he paused and looked at me and said, "I've been having sleepless nights. Although I know this is what I should be doing, but I'm so afraid." Afraid of what? Afraid of failure, afraid of never able to succeed or being successful. We all face that, isn't we? And sometimes it's so overwhelming that we cannot even, think clearly. In spite of having everything on our side, still we stumble. Still we go through that place where we think that it will never happen. The other day I was reading from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 14. There's a very powerful story about Jesus walking on the water and approaching the disciples who were in the boat. And these people are really frightened. And Peter, who is one of the disciples, he looks at Jesus and says, "Jesus, Master, if this is you, if it is you, allow me to walk on the water and come to you." And he said, "Come on." And Peter stepped out of the boat and started walking. For the first time, he defied the gravity, all the laws of the physics, and he was walking on the water. And suddenly, the scripture says later, he looked around, he saw the wind. I don't know how he saw the wind, but he started sinking. Jesus reached out and held him, and they climbed back into the boat. And he says this is where I want us to focus today. It says, Jesus said, "Why did you doubt?" Think about it. Oftentimes, God is on our side, standing beside us. He is calling us to do things, but yet we see many things. But Jesus is, saying, the problem is when we doubt. Doubting of what? What do we doubt? We doubt that God is not enough. The one who has promised, one who is standing with us, is not safe. He might let us go and sink. And Peter might have thought that he might, Jesus might let him go and he might sink in that water and drown and die. Don't we all think the same? Jesus is standing. He has promised that he will never leave us nor forsake us. Even in midst of that promise, when God calls us to do something, or even when we ask God, and when he invites us to step into that place or space, as we take those steps, moments, we look around and we start doubting. Today I want to encourage you. Focus on those words. Jesus is saying, "Why did you doubt?" In midst of that doubt, we can focus on Jesus. We can have that faith. We can believe, we can trust, and we can walk on what he has called us to do. May God bless you.